es esto? Okay, go.
Let's see. Great. 𝘰𝘪𝘨𝑒. Okay, great. Good. We just loosen up a little. The shoulders, elbows, and the wrists. One time. Now the elbow across the feet a little bit. The sides. Nice and like floating your arms out to the side. Down to the top. To the front. And we're reaching out, pulsing with the fingertips. Aligning the body, loosen out the shoulders here. Pulse down to the body. Each pulse release the shoulder a little bit more. Okay, settle in the feet. Just let the body incline a little bit further. Try to bend the knees a little bit more. Lightly. Spine release all the way down. Keep the knees a little bit of a bend in them. Keep the spine moving. You relax the head, relax the neck, relax the face. Press the hands into the ground. You start working the feet a little bit more, the legs. A little bit more bend in the knees. Work one side and the other, or work both. Good. Just bring the arms just above the head. Just keep it going. Keep that movement pulsing through the whole body. Slow it down. Find the hands into the ground. Nice and gently coming up. Slowly up. Stick into the wrist. Really roll one over the other. And changing direction. Rolling freely. The other way. Rolling at the elbows. The hands just wide across the face. And the other way. Good. Rolling out the shoulders. Keeping the hands lightly in contact with the body. And change. And the hands just off the top of the shoulders. Big rotation. Drawing the elbows together and spreading them away. And change direction, bring the elbows together at the front. Bring the arms out, very light circles or very small circles. And the weight. Reaching out, you can kind of reach the corners of the root, just hold the arms out. And then you just engage in the arms down, go out tiny henko position, full in the arm, dropping the elbow down, so that the hips settle. Just go between these two positions and reach up. Spread towards the corners and then sink down, engage the hips. Be full in the arm, all the way to the hand. Reaching up. Corners, spread the body out. And contain the body down. Keeping that kind of full feeling as you go. And one more, reaching up. And engaging down. Good. Just loosen up the shoulders with the hips. Just work with some circles. So first starting with the head, just roll, so you can keep the shoulders and the hips stable. Roll the head around, circle, run away. Quite tricky. Set on the other way. So, good, and then take it down to the chest. Roll it in circles. Try and keep the head now and the hips stable. Roll in the chest. And imagine like a marble in the center of the chest, trying to move it around. If you feel any kind of sticky areas, just work them a little bit more. Just kind of roll over that point. You've got a bit of a sticky point yet. Just going to roll around it a little bit. If you don't find any, just keep rolling in circles. Yo. Good, and then settle the chest and head. Feel everything's kind of loose, everything's fine, just roll around in circles. If you find any sticky areas, just go a little bit deeper into them. Rolling both ways. And then this one, bring it together, just go into circles, nice and light to start. Keep the feet neutral, press into the ground. The other way. Open the feet out one step. Continue with a circular motion. We open the hip. Well. And the other way. Good. Just the ankles. Roll on one side. And the other way. These sides. And the other way. You just kind of loosen out the hip. Just think about releasing the hip, settling into the foot. Just roll it around. Let the foot, the toes be nice and relaxed. Side. Soften, release the hip towards the floor. Good. Here come that wide feet, a little bit splayed. Sink down a little bit. Loosen out the hips, knees, ankles. Use the hands on the floor if you need. Okay, now just play with two things, pulling the hips back, and also think about lengthening one side and the other. So in this case, just keeping the hands lightly in the ground, just pulling the hips. You can either pull the hips straight back, lengthen through both feet, pull the hips to one side, or pull the hips to the kind of back diagonal position, just to lengthen out using the hip movement. So that's to pull that leg out long, pull both legs, if you go to the straight back. So feet nicely plugged into the ground, using the hip to lengthen and extend the leg. Great. Just come a little bit deeper if you can. Settle into the hip. Try and keep the back straight if you can. Incline but lengthen. Good. Okay, release, walk the hands forward. Lengthen out through the hips. Reach forward with the shoulders and the hands. And bring the ears in line with the shoulder. Lengthen all the way to the back of the head. Up the spine, pull back, all the way to the tailbone. Walking the hands back, just with the shoulder in line with the shoulder, and just windmilling up with the arm. Really open up the chest. Give it switch sides each time. Couple of seconds at the top, and back down. Nice and control. Nice stable hips. Really anchoring you into the ground. Big open expansion of the chest. Good, just one more on each side. Great, press the hands back down. Put a little bit of weight into them, shift the feet back together. Just find it, this position we did yesterday where the toes are touching, heels are a little bit separated. Just settle into that position here. So you're gently squeezing the legs together towards each other. Find the shin bone with the hands, draw the spine up long, sit into it, find that pressure in the legs, pressure in the ground, and lift the chest up with that pressure. Take the spine and the hips back, open the hands out, and a dive bomb. Think long in the spine, clavicles pointing up with the ears. Length through the head, nice deep breaths here. And breathing fully into all of the ribcage. Think 360-degree breath in. And as you breathe out, keep that length. Let the belly pull away from the pants. Great, next out breath, you're going to hinge it back a little bit more, squeeze the arms from underneath, raise them forward just to the level with the heart. Squeeze the hands together. Imagine someone's trying to pull your hands apart, so you want to kind of squeeze them together at the same time. You get to the wrists as well. A couple of deep breaths here. Keep that pressure in the legs, squeezing together. Pressing into the ground. Keep the hips where they are. Next out breath, raise the hands right up. You can keep them together or you can just bring the palm up. Either way, try not to shrug the shoulders. Lengthening up, 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 up. Great, so you're reaching for something really high shelf. Couple of deep breaths here. Keep the pressure in the legs going, pressure in the ground. And bring the thumbs down, pointing down, just release all the way down. Release the spine at the bottom, release the head. Just a nice breath in and out. You'll just find that pressure again in the legs. Find the shin bone. Pressure up and raise the chest up. Just come up to standing. And release out the spine. Very good. Okay, let's go into a lunge. So, just start with a kind of light lunge, not so big. You want the feet to really go on tracks in this one. Actually, we'll do another way. Keep the. You're going to have the feet so they're slightly inturned, just slightly, not too much. Just feel that you've got to kind of that slight intern is going to really activate the back of the leg. And you can allow you to kind of just squeeze the ground together. So you've got a slight squeeze of the ground here with the feet. Okay. Just bring yourself into that wide position with the arms, thumbs back, but pull the hips up in this one. So you don't want the hips to go back in this one. Let them kind of raise out of the ground. Chest, clavicle, everything's kind of up, open, expanded. A couple of deep breaths. Now hinge the hips, bring the body forwards. Start to shift weight into the front leg, bring the hands into that sphere of tension position. Good. Now just connecting from the hip here, think about rolling the body through it. So you can do this and just hold it. So a gentle spiral, or you can kind of pulse in and out of it. Either one works. Find which one feels kind of comfortable-ish. Couple of deep breaths here. Anchoring the body in the front foot. And then one thing, just squeeze the ground together here. So really feel like you're trying to squeeze the ground together, anchor the body into the ground, and then just reach a little bit further. Raise up and shift all the weight now into that front leg. It's hardly anything on the back foot. Hold it. One deep breath in. Full deep breath. And as you breathe out, release back to center. Shift the weight back onto the 2 feet. And relax the leg. Good. Do the same on the other side. Just find that same kind of distance with the feet. Slight in-turn with the toes. Just feel that you've got the kind of anchor in the ground where you can kind of squeeze the leg together. Squeeze the ground together with the feet. Just come out long. Widen through the shoulders. Lifting the hips up gently. Couple of deep breaths. Really nice, strong anchor in the ground. Hinge back and reach forwards. Deep breath in. Start to gently feel that you can shift weight into that front leg without bending the knee. Keeping the knee back. Deep breaths in. Again, imagine someone trying to pull the hands apart. You're trying to press them in together. And then again, working from the back hip, but the whole body, the hands, everything just slightly rotate away. Okay. And again, you can kind of pulse it, come back, pulse it, or just hold it. One deep breath in. Okay, really anchor the body into the ground, squeezing the ground together, and then just take a little bit further if you can. Moving really into that front hip. So, one deep breath. And on the out, pull yourself back to the center with the hip. Release the arms. And the legs back. Okay, just loosen out the shoulders, everything. Hips. Great, now just finish a few spinal waves. So just start in the head, this one. You can roll in the neck. Let it pass into the shoulders. Bring the chest up the spine into it. And then start to bring the lower spine, hips. And then start to really bring the knees into it as well. So knees, ankles, releasing. Let the body release towards the ground. And then nice and controlled, pressing into the feet, raise up, nice deep breath in, stretch right up with the hands. Lengthen all the way through the spine. And nice and slowly, bending the knees. Keep that length extension, lengthened extension all the way down until you need to curl the spine to get down. And coil all the way up, pressing all the time into the feet to raise. Nice deep breath in, just go at your own pace. Deep breath in, opening out. Lengthening extension all the way down through the out breath. Curling the spine at the bottom. Do one last time. And commit to the center. Great. We'll do one last breathing exercise. This is one I don't often teach, but we'll do it. You go like this, you raise up. This one's like this, you breathe in, raise up to the center. You bring the hands together at the top. You're going to press the hands together this way, drop them down. Now, the best way to think about this is think of the arms like springs, like unlock springs. So you're going to just, as you breathe out, release that tension through the arms. The hands just a little bit off the body here. But you want to feel that the arms, especially the elbow here, is kind of loose. That kind of motion. Do this in your own time as you breathe out. As the breath leaves the body, as you want to breathe in, just pause and start this motion again. Nice deep breath in. Hands come to the top of the head. Shift the palms together. Relax the shoulders. And the breath's a bit gentle with it, so it's like a full breath in and a kind of settling of the breath down. Just in your own time with this one. So. Oh yeah, tricky one with the weights. Nice. Good. Okay, good. So. The other way you can think about this is what someone described, Alan Roberts in New Zealand, he describes this like a coffee plunger. So the breath, the thing settling down is like to the bottom. So it's kind of pressure all the way, like an even pressure of the body down. But that idea of like settling the body down. The tendency with this exercise, to watch out for this. I basically do it with the arms and I end up in that kind of position, but you want to feel that you basically settle down with it. So if you're doing this in a way that's like correct, or the way that I understand this, it's like that pulse from the whole body actually passes into the hand. So rather than be a shaking of the hands, feel that it's actually the center settled, and that movement's coming from here, and then that movement from the center goes to the arm and the wrist. So good, good. A very strange exercise. This is one actually comes from Shinto rituals, and it comes from the guys that do cold water waterfall practices in Japan. So these practices like 𝘭𝘪𝑓une, rowing practice, they really come from these kind of Shinto rituals. They're basically to switch the body on so that they can do these kind of really, really hard practices, cold water and waterfalls and this kind of stuff. Also good for Aikido. So, okay, and then just do a natural breath with this. So just stand shoulder width and just take the arms up. Let the hands palm up and then just breathe out as you do it. So that actually that same kind of motion, just gentler now. So setting the body down. Just follow the breath, the arms. So the key one with this also is that sense that you can sink the body down as you raise. And spread the arms. Just a few more. Last one. Just let the body settle, let the arms settle to the side of the body. Okay, we will do okay again. Yep. We'll do one kind of follow-on practice from there. So just from the Kamae position, or the kind of 𝘭𝘰𝘬𝘬 natural position here. and then coming into Kamai. And this is just a check on the connection. So what I want you to do is feel that kind of pulse through the body again, and just let it kind of pass into the hand. So the idea or the feeling with this is a little bit like you're resting the tip or this part of the bokken, the cutting part of the bokken, basically on a kind of high table. And then the feelings that I can kind of move the hip with it, just connect into it. And just play with the feeling. What you want to do is as you come into Kamai, kind of go directly into that connection. So just play now as you come back into natural posture at the side. Play with the ability to go straight in and into that connection. Just play with it. It just takes a few times to kind of get into that level of connection with the sword, but doing this kind of breathing practice, it's actually much the same thing. Good. So it's a kind of check on your connection and a little bit of pressure with it, with the extension, with the bokken. So. Yeah, so think of the same thing. This you can do this basically like with the arms and do that kind of movement. Or you can feel that you actually connect the arms, feel like they're kind of heavy ropes or heavy kind of spring loaded things, which they kind of are. And then just feel that the body can move. So just playing out straight directly into Kamai and just play with a little bit bigger movement with it. So you want to feel that you're directing the tip of the weapon with the hips. Very similar to this foundation stuff actually. Hand and the hip directs the motion. So that in that case, a really extreme example, you want to be a bit softer with the connection. In sword, but same idea. Hip, basically guided motion. And just play with it so you can move around the space a little bit. But the key thing is, the key thing is actually small movements are better. Small movements are better. But you watch your surroundings as you move around the space. So just move and connect with it. So keep that kind of movement connection we're going. Do go into the first 𝘱𝑒𝑖, but just take your time with it. So allow yourself to kind of connect in. When you really feel like tightly connected, just find the point and find the 𝘱𝑒𝑖. Just come out of it. Actually don't come. If you really feel connected, don't come out of it. If you feel like 80%, not good enough, keep going or move around. Try and find that connection in a kind of nice way. But if you feel like not quite connected, 90%, keep kind of cutting with it. But as soon as you feel that kind of drop in the quality of the connection, just pull yourself back. Keep yourself a bit of space. Let's work on just connecting small movements to the tip and then cut. If it means you just do one cut, it's fine. You can do a series, it's still fine. Morning screen. Hello, hand. Oh, this is about okay. Good. Good.
Great, and then we'll take this to the second through. So again, just keep the body, feel free to kind of move around the space and just, again, just to check on that connection. So really feel that the hips connect to the tip of the weapon and then settle that connection into the feet and then move back and releasing into the ground. And especially with this one, because we come back anyway, just allows it to kind of find a new position, find a new focal point, settle, extend up to the top, and settle into the cut. Nice, full, conscious movement. Okay, good. So we're just going to make one slight change to this, which is to take the cut into a 𝘥𝘰𝘦𝘦. So you need to change this. Don't reach the back now with the sword, and you're going to just angle the hip out a little bit. So the cut now looks something like this. You go just up to the top position, and then the key with this movement is feel that the hip from the back just releases the sword down this way. So it's going to take the hand in this position, and then the hip is just going to angle the sword down. And you're going to finish in this case into the back, a little bit deeper, a little bit higher. And then you release the hip down. You're just going to find the back hip of the sword. So it's a slightly deeper angle with the cut now. So there's a release at the top, but it doesn't. The sword doesn't go to the spine. It's kind of set up for 𝘱𝘰𝘠𝘪𝘏𝑗𝑢𝑒. This is really a habit as well from the second 𝗧𝗪𝗏. So, okay. Bernie, thanks a lot. Very good. Enjoy. Good. Okay, good. So again, this one is sometimes teach this because it really gives a clear idea of the angle. Now, it's not the way the movement is, but just try it like this. It's a nice way to do it. Think about this hand basically cutting a parting through the head. If you've actually got a parting, just follow it. I don't have a parting in the center line, but this way it goes up the head and it really cuts into the head in this case. Now, as you do the cut, so that hand cuts into the head, keep that position on the head and feel that you drag the hand off the hip, drag the hand off the head with the hip. Oh, so stupid. Okay, you go to the back, and then you drag the hand off the top of the head down this way. So you keep that heaviness. So there's no kind of release out to the side. It's just from the center, like boom, straight down this way. Give it a try, and actually do it with the hand on the head. Easier if you've not got hair. Actually, easier if you've got a center parting, but I don't think anybody does. No. Serena. Oh, Serena, you do. No? No. Good. So it's this connection, get really similar to what we were doing yesterday, that sense of the elbow and the hip, or the hip basically pulling the elbow down. Now in this case, the hip's just going to pull the hand off the head as well. So I think hip to elbow to hand, so there's basically a pull down of the arm. Good, good, good. Okay, it's not the way the movement is because you want a little bit of space above the body. So in this pattern, we'll kind of cramp the body a little bit. but it gives this feeling of basically that the hand's working through the center line still, as much as it is in 𝘱𝘰𝘀𝘀 work. Okay, yeah. Yeah, okay, good. So there's one habit with this. It will take you out of the connection work. Just watch this. It's something that can come up. So if I go here, I get that pot, and then the head moves. The head actually slips off the connection. So if I look somewhere else as I do this, the head will slip off the connection, and I'll break the connection. And my feeling starts to drift off the cut. So just be mindful with this as you allow yourself to rest the eyes onto something. Allow the head, the nose, the center of the head to go towards that point. Now the tendency is to do something like that, and then that point I've basically split the connection with the center line, or with the frontal part. Okay, so just watch for the head like twisting out or twisting the other way. I think this also comes from like looking at screens maybe. So don't look at the screen at all. Focus on something else. Just focus on your own center line basically. Just notice what the head's doing especially as you initiate the cut. Nice, nice. There we go, there we go. There we go. That's it. Yeah, good, good, good. Good. And then with that feeling, just give yourself a bit of space above the head, but keep that connection work. So the hand is just going to be a little bit off the head, so it's not in contact with the head, it's just drifting off the head. But keep that feeling as you initiate the cut, let it get dragged down from the top. So you're in high position, perfect position to just drop the hip that way. Just like that. You can move around freely between the movements. Find a connection in the arms, the sword, and go. And go. Again, releasing now into a 𝘥𝘰𝘦𝘦 cut. A little bit more space above the head. Daniel, hello. Very good. 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 That's it, that's it, that's it. Nice. Okay, good. Just take us to a second movement, which is the ski from the 𝘱𝘰𝘀𝘀. So again, using this movement, rolling back, you're going to go into a 𝘥𝘰𝘦𝘢 here, off the side of the hip, and then just press through with the back hip that way into the ski. Find another position, connect and move. So let's get to 𝘥𝘰𝘦𝘢, deep 𝘥𝘰𝘦𝘢, and then into the ski. Release, find another position. And set. Okay, great. So we'll just do a few movements, just to kind of test that connection, open the movement path a little bit. You're going to work now using the line. So if you think about having the line here, the first cut you're going to do is just wedging off to the right side. So think about 𝘵𝑰𝘠𝘪𝘏𝑒, coming off to the side and cutting through. This way, finish the cut in this case, where we normally kind of go to the head, finish the cut down. And then what I want you to do is release the front hip this way. And with it, the sword comes out, go to here, step through, and cut to the back. So both cuts are basically going to be directed back to the line. So if you find a line on the floor, if you don't need a line on the floor, you only need a line basically in front of you and something to the back. Door frames are great, or just corners of the wall. So I basically got a corner and a corner here, and then I'm on the center line. I'm going to wedge the body off, and then I'm going to pass the body out, step through, and my new angle is towards the back corner. That way. And then you want to find the back, just 2 right cuts. So it's cutting to the right, a slicing motion to open the hip, and then step through and cut to the back. Like a classic 𝘱𝘰𝘠𝑦𝘪𝘁 movement. In this case, you can imagine 2 attackers, or you can just imagine, or you can just use two focal points. But this is a practice of kind of wedging and opening the hips out. Yeah, good. Yeah, good. Nice, Catherine. Good. Yeah. Good. Nice. Very nice. Okay, good. Okay, just play with one thing with this. So sometimes, especially if you do this with partners, I need to kind of sometimes bridge distance with it. So that means one thing, but it's a good way to think about it in terms of body use as well. So I'll just try and explain it. It goes like this. So I've got this cut here. Now, as I go through this motion, the tendency is as I rotate to pull back with the body and then go forward with it. Okay. But what you want to do in this thing is the ability to cut down, open up the hip, and then press and go forward with the body this way. So just play with this as an exercise. You can do this on the spot, obviously. That's the kind of easy way to do it. So you've got this. Now this rotation should give me the ability that I can press into the ground here and press the body forward this way. Yeah. So just play with this on the second cut. One's the same, open, and then feel that you can press the body forwards this way. So you would use it in terms of partner work just to sometimes bridge the gap, especially if the attacker's too far away. Generally, they're on target, but that rotation should give me the rotation. I should still be engaged forward, basically. So I do it. That's it. Yeah. Good. Nice. Yo! Oh, yeah. Good. We've got just enough time. We'll look at another set with this. So this is actually kind of based on a cultivation movement. So we'll do it from the hard way in this case. So in this case, everything's going to go to the left side. Okay. So the first movement of this is a slice to the back. So you start with the right foot. You're going to step in with the back leg this way, and then you're going to rotate the body out, slice to the rear here. Okay? So that's the first movement. Just look at the first movement here. I'm going to build it up. So you're going to step from the back foot, release the arm, and then slice to the rear. Okay. In this case, if I'm working with the line, the slice is directed to the back, and I'm slightly wedging the body off this way. So it's a slight kind of 90-degree angle. A little bit deeper generally, but 90 degrees roundabouts that way too. You're kind of going off the line this way. So you have the line here, you're going to go that way with the body to your left. That makes sense. Yeah, I'll try and explain this. So let's see. This is the line. Think about when you do a kotegaeshi with someone. Generally, you're going to do it from this position, or that's one of the positions you do it from. You step in from the back, you pivot the body, and you roll out this way. So my body angle takes this kind of position, rather than a full rotation. You can do full rotations, obviously, but you won't do kotegaeshi in this case. So you come in with the sword, and then you slice out this way. So my slice is to the back, but my body goes to this one, to the body. So it's a kind of opening out of the hip this way. Okay, give it a try. So you're kind of wedging off to the left side. Makes you finish 90 degrees to the original line you start on. That's it. Hello. I don't know. It's backwards. It says hi. It's in reverse. Okay, good. We'll finish the last movement. We've got just enough time. This is a variation on the cut. So again, if you think about kotegaeshi, I go here, I go out, and then my cut is basically low, right, and then dropping down with it. So it's a slight variation in this case on the basic cut. When I go here, and then I roll the hip back. So I roll the sword with the hip. It goes up to the head. There's a kind of variation on the cut. So it's this position, and then I release the hip that way. So it's quite a sharp movement of the sword. It's not that you can do this, obviously. You can do this, you can do this, you can do this. But in this case, it's this, and then I just release the hip, and it's quite a sharp movement. But then it goes basically to the head. This way. Give it a try. So it's quite a sharp kind of cut, but it's a kind of variation on 𝘥𝘰𝘦𝘴. Quite a strange one. We'll look at this tomorrow a little bit more. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah. Okay. Last minute or so, just take the footwork out of it. We'll look at this tomorrow, but just play with basically it's like this opening and then taking the hip back. So you've got to kind of slice out, slice the hip back. So it's all being done from this hip basically. You've got the ground in that hip. I've got the ground in this foot, in this hip, and then I release this side of the body. Release this side of the body. The cut's actually going either to the body or to the head, basically. So it's going to take that path, and then whip back and onto the body this way. Just blow the hip, take that rotation out of it. And it's just another way to test the connection in a sense. And because it's a variation, it's very easy to do with the arms. So see if you can really get the sense that the center does it, hopefully. Yeah, nice. Yeah, good. Wow. Yeah, nice. Very good. Okay, good. We will look at this tomorrow as well, so we'll kind of look at it a little bit more detail. And this is a kind of movement that's found in quite a few areas, again, kind of variations on cutting. We'll look at them a bit more. Great. どうもありがとうございました。
どうもありがとうございました。
Very good.